Really?
Yes,
Bye-bye. Ow!
Boom!
Okay.
Viral, take one.
Take one. Hi, I'm Kacee Pate. I'm so glad that you guys are listening in on this conversation today, and that's what it is. We're having a conversation. I'm here with my friend Rob here.
Yes.
Robert Ramirez.
Yes, Robert.
He
Full name.
likes to be called Robert.
Yes.
But we've all called him Rob.
Rob.
So we're trying to fix that.
Yeah.
But and you would actually not address me as Kacee.
No,
Because
KP.
there's many, not just KP.
KP.
There's KP.
KPZ.
KPZ.
KP-sha. Lorette. Not
That-
little. Lorette.
Yeah.
Hair.
I think we would all understand
Yeah.
why you would
And we're
do
matching.
that. Well, we didn't plan on it. Actually, I tried to get him to wear the matching shoes. We both have these same shoes right here.
yeah,
White leather
I just-
Converse. And I
not
said, we
my
should
thing.
wear our matching shoes. And he did not wear the matching shoes. But lo and behold, we show up and we're wearing basically the same outfit.
Yeah.
So,
It's
flexing.
we're creatives.
That's right.
And we think alike
Creatives,
somewhat.
it's a requirement to be on the creative team to
Yeah.
own a denim jacket.
You have to.
Have solid
Yeah.
white shoes.
Solid white.
Black,
least one
black
pair of black
pants. What, an Adidas hat? I have like 2 Adidas hats.
But you're hipster, so.
So I don't have an I Love Tacos pin. That's unfortunate.
I can let you
I think
have
you
it
need to. I think
if
you need to give me
want.
one.
Okay.
I think you need to give me one.
I got you.
Yeah. Well, we're just, again, we're having a conversation about all things creative.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about creativity. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about building a team,
Yeah.
what that looks like when you start from nothing, when you start from a dream that you go, is this God or was this bad pizza? I don't know, but I think it was God.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that because we actually have a real life example of that. That's super fun. And we're starting this process. We're not professionals. We're not, we don't have a ton of, I would say, the experience of the things that we're doing. I mean, we have experience in life. We have experience in, I'm a parent. You are a new parent.
New parent. 3
a
weeks.
new
Yeah.
dad to Miss
Lucy.
Lucy. She's so cute.
Yeah.
I went to visit her the other day, and she takes after her mom, so we're all
Amen.
thankful for that. But she is trying to do big things in the Ramirez way because, first of all, she was a week late, but then she did that on purpose because she was the first little baby born on Mother's Day. So then you were in the news.
Yeah,
because
so weird.
Lucy's doing it up big,
So
Ramirez style. Because if we're telling the truth, you're on a billboard in Houston. I mean, you are. You are.
Yeah.
You're on a billboard. You're kind of like low-key doing big things, but you're trying not to talk about it, but you're still doing big things.
I try to be
And
low-key,
so, Well,
Low-key.
I mean, me too. No, I'm I'm not very low-key. I'm high-key, I think. I'm
Yeah,
high-key.
you are high-key.
But I'm an extra person. What can you say? Enneagram 7. I mean, it's just about as out there as it gets.
Yeah.
But I wanted Rob to be our first guest in our conversation in my living room. That's not really my living room,
At
but
all.
we want it to like kind of feel like that.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want this to be overwhelming or intimidating because that's the whole idea. We're trying to create a culture of why not?
Yeah.
Why not just go for something? We kind of felt like we sat around for a long time and we kind of had this saying where we said we were trying to like go big or go home, but like we were going home.
Yeah.
We were going home
Yeah.
and we weren't going big. And so we were trying to go big, and then in our minds, because it wasn't like as big as we wanted to, then maybe we just didn't do some of the things that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we're taking a different approach as we're building the creative team here at City Life. And in my role as creative director, we're building a team of storytellers. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing. We're trying to tell good stories because we have the best story, the story of Jesus, the story of the gospel. It is good news.
Absolutely.
And we want to be good storytellers. We want to tell the story well. And so we're in the process And I say process because it definitely is a process of building up a team. And that's kind of what we wanted to talk about a little bit today. And I wanted to have Robert here join me in this conversation because I think you have a lot of good things to offer in this conversation. And so I want to start by talking about just the creative team in general. When we sat down, and you and I were talking, and we said, "Hey, we're gonna have Robert." I feel like when I say Robert,
you can call me okay. You can call me Rob.
Robert.
It's okay. It's okay. You do your
double
thing.
R squared.
I used to have a hat that had R squared on it.
And I said that. I called you that, and I didn't know that you had a hat that said that. And it was just magic.
And double R was all over my car too.
Double R
in high school and college, actually.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Again.
I was tapping into something there. Although you may not want to tap into those days. I don't know. That was BC or I'm not sure.
Back to you, Kacee.
So back to the creative team is really where we're going. So we want to talk about trying to build this culture. Okay, so how do we take a room full of people, because we hear this all the time, you and I both do. Like, oh, I'm not a creative person, or oh, I'm not, I can't do that. I don't have any experience. Literally got an email yesterday from someone who submitted a piece of, we're doing a challenge right now where we're having people submit like spoken words and written things, poetry, script for a series we're doing, Book of John. And I challenge people to really kind of go out there and come up with, and really step out creatively and see what they could come up with. And I got an email yesterday, and this made me think, this is why we're doing this. And she said, she hasn't made it to a creative team night yet, which we've had a couple of those, but she said, I thought maybe this was something I would do one day, but I really just don't have the experience, or I'm not very confident in my creative abilities, although I feel like I'm wired this way, or maybe I have these kind of gifts. And so we kind of felt like we had a room full of people that were like that, right? Like they were, that's not me.
For sure.
Or I'm not a professional photographer, so how can I take pictures on a Sunday morning? And I think you're a great example of that. So let's listen to your mind a little bit about that. Tell us how you helped inspire and you helped encourage those people who are saying that in developing the team.
Yeah, I think for us, you and I, simplicity always wins. So we basically are saying, like, how can we I don't want to make it so complicated that people can't join the team or be a part or something like that. So we never have a meeting and we say, hey, if you're a photographer or a videographer, or if you do film directing, come to this meeting. We never articulate like that. We say, like, hey, have you bought a camera and you got dust all over it because
it's
you
sitting
got intimidated?
around.
It's just sitting there. Or do you want to take better pictures of your kids? Or have you ever liked cool videos and you kind of thought about, well, how does that stuff come together? How does it work? So for us, it's like, let's just go simple. Like, let's go simple, and make it easy for people to join the team. Now, as far as like the tension of like being a creative, or am I good enough? That's still something I'm fighting today. Because I don't call myself a photographer. I don't call myself like
You're the not photographer.
Yeah, I kind of like that vibe.
Because you take pictures all the time.
I learned on YouTube.
All the time.
I learned on YouTube by just looking at stuff and just curious, like, how does this work? How can I make this image look cool? And the world of Instagram, everyone's taking like what seems to be great pics. And I was just thinking, like, how could I do the same thing and recreate it? So for me, it's just like, let's just go simple. I think there's a bunch of people in our community, in our church, who like creativity and they want to be a part of something. They just don't know it exists. So the experience doesn't matter to you and I. It's just big deal. Show up. We'll figure it out.
Oh, you've never picked up a camera? That's okay.
Yeah.
Or you've never, you've never stepped out. Like maybe you love to write, and you've never
writing too.
You've never actually, none of your writing has seen the light of day because you're kind of afraid to let that, because there's a lot of vulnerability involved in that, right? Creating art is scary because it's who you are, and you're taking that and you're displaying that for everyone to see, to judge, to critique. Oh, put five. Yeah.
Boom. Gotcha.
Go. That's why we're matching out today, because we're vibing. Yeah, but that's exactly, it is very intimidating, and so we're just trying to remove all of that.
For sure.
As we build a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that we don't have standards, because at City Life, one of our values is excellence. And so we definitely have a look we're going for. We call it vibes.
Yeah,
we have vibes.
Hashtag.
Vibes for days.
Hashtag
vibes. Hashtag vibes.
Viral.
A victory, viral. Yeah.
Both. We'll
You're also the creator of hashtag Wing It. So, which is a little misleading, because it sounds like you're just jumping in and you don't have any idea what you're doing at all. But that's not your hashtag Wing It. Your hashtag Wing It was.
When I say hashtag Wing It, and I did that when I was music directing and worship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would prepare so much where I knew the ins and outs of the song to the detail.
Yeah.
So by the time it came for Sunday, and the little things would happen, and I don't know this part and I don't know that, and how do we get there? I'm like, let's just wing it. Because if we build all that pressure, you're going to be thinking how do I get through this song and through this set, rather than worshiping. Yeah. So my wing it is I already know it. I'll just talk back in the talk mic.
It's not a matter of not preparing and being ready.
No. The preparation is super duper high. So by the time it's time to perform, actually Henry said this one time, the guy that does the production and stuff here at City Life, he said the preparation phase is over when we're going to night of worship.
Yeah.
We've done the practices. Y'all rehearsed the songs, 10 song set list memorized.
Right.
Everyone knew the music. But when it came to the night of, and we were 1 hour before kickoff, he said preparation is over.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be you have to perform for people's opinions, but he's it's game time now.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and switch that perspective. So I'm not thinking about the amount of times we're going to run through this. Yeah. Now it's time just to do it and let the Holy Spirit kind of work through those things. So I'm huge on that. I'm huge on the preparation, but when it's time to deliver, let's just do this.
Let's hashtag Wing It. Is that
sure.
Hashtag vibes?
Sure. Yeah.
Hashtag Wing It. This is what I have to say to your response to that question. That was very. If I would not have liked your response, I would have said.
I'm being judged.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to tell you beforehand, but so far it's this. This is all. It's all this.
I'm glad to make you proud.
Well, thank you for being a part of the creative team. Yeah. You brought up night of worship, and I think that's a great segue, if you will. So way to segue into what we're going to talk about next. Okay. Because I really want to talk about this, because I think there's so much, it's a cool story, first of all, but I think it's also super helpful and also inspiring to help other people maybe really step out there and do something if they feel like God showed them something. And so I'm gonna title this segment, The Dream.
Yeah.
Was it God or bad pizza? So, and that's what it was. So you came into our. I gotta keep you loose.
I'm with you. I'm loose.
I know you are. Loose. You are. So you came into Chris's office one day, or a phone call. Yeah,
we're on the phone actually.
You should probably tell the story because it was you and not me.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell the story of the dream of night of worship and how that ended up being developed?
Yeah, I had this random dream in July, last year in July. And in this dream, I saw the parking lot of City Life, of course, was full. And all these people were coming to this worship night or this event or this something, but it was so different. I remember walking from the parking lot, where are these people coming from? And where are we going to put them?
Where are they?
And I was like, where's Randy? Where's the parking people?
I love that in your dream you said, where's Randy?
Yeah, I was kind of mad at Randy low key. I was like, where's Randy and all these people to help? And then I ended up going inside and I'm like, man, look at all these people are here for this worship thing. And it was almost like me and God were talking at the same time as I'm walking through and I'm looking at the stage and I was thinking I'd probably change that if it was me. And God was kind of whispering in my heart in the dream, what would you do? And I was like, well, I get rid of all those chords because it'll make it cleaner. And I'd move this person here, here, and there. And in the dream, it literally happened. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that was cool. And we're walking through and all these people in here and I'm thinking man, we could do something different with the lights. And I felt like God was like, what would you do? I was like, well, I'd do this, and that.
What would you do?
Add a little haze to it too, and it literally happened. So then
That's haze.
Could you do that again?
It's not spirit.
Haze?
That was haze.
So then in this dream, it was like God and I were just talking about like how he wanted to do such a supernatural thing through our church. And it was like God's thoughts were my thoughts. It was like, I was like, man, I would do this with the lights. I would do this. I would have this kind of set list. I'd love this. I'd love like a night where the power of God just moved like crazy. But it's like God's thoughts and my thoughts began to like submerge together.
Like you had the mind of Christ. Is that
the mind of Christ.
Is that in the Bible?
I think it is.
I think
it's in the Bible.
That's good.
So fast forward a little bit of time, I end up talking to Pastor Chris and just, I don't know what we were doing. I felt like God told me, like, you need to tell him. You need to tell him about this dream. You need to tell him about what happened. And I'm thinking, like, I'm just going to tell him about this dream. Have a nice day. Talk to you later, bro.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Bye. And I told him about this dream and how the parking lot was full and these people were coming from north, south, east, west to this event.
Yeah.
And how the stage and everything was changed. And it was so creative. And it wasn't like just straight worship. Somebody was speaking that night. Mm-hmm. And it was just like epic. And like, that, and then like God would do something in the hearts of our people with creativity and like re-energize. I tell him all this and I'm getting ready to hang up. I'm getting ready to be like,
story's over.
All right,
Story's over.
Talk to you later. See you Sunday. And he was like, let's do it, bro.
Do it.
I was like, hello? Hello? And he was like, I think you should do it.
Yeah.
I said, me? Yeah. Let's talk about that. So we ended up talking about it 2 weeks later and he was just like,
yeah.
If you had like a dream that specific, let's just go with it. What's the worst that can happen?
It probably wasn't bad pizza. If it was that specific. I mean, yeah. Let's go with it.
Yeah, he basically said, let's go with it. So then we all met and started talking about these different elements we can do. Mm-hmm. And then the video guys, we shot a video for it, and an opener for it. We had a choir. We had like all these voices. We had a theme.
We've never done anything of this
like
before.
It. Yeah, we had photo shoots.
We're trying to act like we've been doing this for 5 years. And we just did all these things. We were pretty ambitious.
And we just
it was pretty ambitious.
Kind of made it up as we went.
But why not, right? Why not? Why? No, never mind. Anyway. Why not? Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, and now we did it spring 2019. Now we're doing it again in fall 2019.
Coming right around the corner.
With a new theme, with a new concept.
Coming to City Life, September 2000.
So you should be there.
Yeah,
Show up.
You should. Yeah. But I love this story because it really tells so many things and there's a lot of backstory to it, which kind of is going to lead me into my third segment. Third, yeah, it was the third segment. Sure, it's the third segment. That's what it is. But it leads me into that as well because what Rob didn't know when God gave him that dream, it's just you had a dream. Yeah. You had a dream, and I don't know why I did that. And you thought I was talk to Chris about this and. That's done into the story because you were just being obedient because you felt like God told you to tell him, and that's important because you felt like God told you to tell him. God didn't tell you what it was going to look like. He didn't tell you like this is happening. Yeah. He just told you to be obedient and tell Chris. Yeah. And you had no idea what was going to happen. So this is kind of like point number one, if this was like a sermon or like, something. Yeah. Point number one is you never know what your obedience is going to do.
Come on, Kacee.
You never know what God is doing behind the scenes because when you came to me and we started having these conversations about creative stuff, I mean, it was kind of crazy, right? Because you were talking to me and you're kind of saying this like, I'm just going to throw this out here. Yeah. Like, this has never, existed. I don't even know if this is on your radar. Yeah. I don't know if this is something you're interested in or wanting to do. But what he didn't know was that in my heart for years, God had put in me and my husband, who, just to throw this out here so you're not confused. My husband is lead pastor, who was having this very conversation with Rob. And we had a conversation years in the making about one day, I think that you're going to step out beyond just the worship realm, which I love and I'm going to do till like I my false teeth are falling out during a song, because I never want to stop doing that. This is my true passion in life, is worship. But I felt like at some point in life, I was a mom. I was homeschooling my children at the time, and so we knew it had to be the right time.
Yeah.
And so that was just kind of a dream that was just in the pocket. It was just there. I didn't forget about it, but it just wasn't time.
Yeah. And
it wasn't time until you came and you started talking about these things, and you're like, I don't even know. I'm not sure where this. That's how you sounded.
High voice?
It's not. No,
okay.
It's not.
I didn't know.
No. But you probably did this face. That's my
go-to.
That's my impression of you reacting to me a lot.
That wasn't a bad job at all.
You do that a lot. Yeah. Or, good.
Can we not?
I'm trying to reenact how you were. But that was something inside of me, and the two came together, and it was like all of a sudden it was time. It wasn't time, and then all of a sudden it was time. And when we met that day and started talking about creative things and started talking about what would this look like if we just went for it, it just ignited something in me, and God just spoke, and he was like, this is time. It's time now. This is the future is now. Yeah. This is time. And so I think that's a cool point, because you had no idea any of that was going to happen.
No, not at all.
When you brought this vision, it's because it was a vision in your heart and a vision, an actual vision in your dream. You had no idea that any of that was going to happen, but God was already orchestrating the pieces to put together this creative team, to start building that creative process in our church. And so it was really cool. Like, it was just a fun thing. And then as we talked, it was just like things just started coming. Ideas started coming, and would show up and like, hey, we need a theme. We need an idea. And then it was like, oh, what about hymn pages? And then it was like, oh, what, and it just took off. And we didn't even, so much of it just flowed, and it was so natural. But that brings me to my third segment that I want to call Get You Some Crazy Friends.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think when we're building a creative team, I think when you're trying to think creatively, when you're trying to do things that have never been done before, you need people around you that are crazy enough to go for it. Like, people that are up for the challenge. And it reminds me of Luke 5, chapter 5. When the paralytic was on a mat, right? And his friends were carrying him, and they were like, it was crowded, there was people, and they're like, where are we going? I don't know. We can't get in, we need to see Jesus, because he needs to be healed. And they couldn't get in, and so they had the crazy idea to go up on the roof, right? And like, if you actually are thinking about the story as it's happening, you think that, I don't know, I think that's crazy. Like, you read the Bible and you're like, oh, that's a cool story. But like, no, they went up on the roof. Like, that's really crazy. And they lowered him in, and they had the boldness and they had the faith to lower him in, and his crazy friends put him in the position where Jesus did his thing and he was healed. And so when I think crazy friends, I think about that story. I think about many people around us. You're my crazy friend. And I'm want offended. To be, well, you're offended. That's a good thing, though, because you're like the person that's helping, make it happen. Crazy is good crazy. It's good crazy. Yeah, it's good crazy. So, crazy friends, you have to have them, because when you're taking risks and you feel like you're all alone, and you feel like, there's been a couple of projects we've already done that I have been like, this is really risky, and like nobody knows really what this is or what it's going to look like, but I feel like this is what we're going to do. And I had crazy friends around me that were just up for the challenge to say, let's do it. Let's go for it. And so tell me a little bit about being a crazy friend. You're a crazy friend. And
you got me with this one.
Yeah, I do. So
tell me a little bit about being crazy, please.
Isn't that a great question?
Didn't know I was crazy, folks.
Crazy. Crazy friend.
Where did you get that?
This actually is from my house. It's a real life thing that's in my home.
In terms of crazy, you mean risky?
Yes, I think taking risks.
Yeah.
How do we encourage people to take risks? That's what I mean by crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Man, I think I tend to think a little bit different on this. I think we balance each other out because I'm just like, let's just do it. And you're more like, let's just do it in terms of I'll support it. I'm like, let's just do it, but I just want to go.
Yeah.
So it's more like you, man, now you got me thinking. You threw me off with this one. Good job. Good job.
It was my goal to actually throw you off at least one time during the conversation.
Well, I'm glad we're going to cut all this little
you're a crazy friend in the sense that that's what you've helped me do, because we've had all these ideas and we've had these things, and you are the let's go for it, let's do it. Like, you're up for the challenge.
Yeah, but I think you're crazy too, because
I'm crazy.
You're the one who says yes. You're the one who say yes, I'll back it.
Yeah.
You're the one who says yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I think like a knife is only as good as it is if it doesn't have if it has a strong staff on it, like a handle on it. So I may do some breaking through, but if it's just a blade, what are you gonna do? So I may be your crazy friend, but I think you're my crazy friend because you say yes.
I am your crazy friend.
Let's support it somehow. But as far as creative risk, like taking a risk and creativity in the church, I think my perspective is more of like a why not? Like we want to reach people. Yeah. We think the message is worth talking about. Yeah. We think the city of Houston needs to be more Christ-centered, spirit-empowered, and socially responsible. And if we're going to do that, we need to...
sounded like a missions, like that sounded like something.
But if we're going to do that, we have to do that via avenues that aren't traditional.
Yep.
So we're trying to get the message out, but the method is going to be different. And if we're going to push the margin with doing like different methods, it's going to be risky.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just kind of like, let's just do this.
Yeah.
And then I don't thank God for a team because there's multiple people.
You need the differences.
So there's video people who have like perspective for video, and we can do that. Yeah. There's art people, like even with our chalkboard and the themes and the sermon series.
So amazing.
So much stuff happening. They're like, we could do this. Yeah. And then we have songwriting now.
Yep.
Be on the lookout for that. We have those different concepts who say, hey, we could do this to put some sound on that. So me being in the middle, I don't feel like I'm running alone with creativity and risk and things like that. But I think it's definitely a cultural thing. I think you and Pastor Chris obviously is like, let's just do it, bro. Yeah. And the way I think about it, like, if our city, our community, the people around us the most, our coworkers, our families, need to get to Jesus through the roof. Yeah. I'm just like, let's just kick in the... let's do whatever it takes.
You're going to lower them through the roof.
Let's just... I may drop them on the way.
Yeah, I mean, that may happen.
But Jesus can heal the rest.
But you're going to get them to Jesus.
Yeah, we're going to get them to Jesus.
You're going to get them to Jesus.
So I think it's worth it because our message is worth it.
Totally.
I think it's worth it because what we're talking about is worth it. Like if we were just talking about something that wasn't important, we wouldn't take as big a risk.
Taking risks to take a risk. Like, what's the point in that?
Sure.
We're taking a risk because we're trying to change a world.
Absolutely. And it's 2019. So doing like broadcast commercials, nothing against TBN. Grew up on TBN. Via TBN probably isn't going to reach a demographic that we're trying to reach. Yeah. So we need to be on Instagram. We need to be on Facebook. We need to be on YouTube. We need to be creating content. Yeah. Like, so we want to kind of shift as the world is shifting. Not that we're going against like what the Bible says and things like that. So
we're just trying to tell his story.
Absolutely.
We're trying to tell his story to people who have not been engaged with his story in a way that engages them.
For sure.
So we have our front door to the church, but then we have our broader also front door to the world when you're on the internet, right? Because of your website, because of social media, things like that. And we like to call that IE, internet evangelism, is what we like. There's no... I keep trying to do the signs. Yeah, I should stop throwing up the signs. I should stop flexing on the signs. Yeah, okay, I'll stop doing that. Yeah. But I think that's so important because you hit on it, because we can't just do things the way they've always been done. And so when we talk about taking risk, we're talking about a risk with a purpose. For sure. A risk with a passion, because we're actually trying to do something. We're trying to go somewhere. And I think you need a bunch of crazy friends, and I think you need different crazy friends, right? Because you and I are very different. We work together really well, but we're different. Like I feel like I'm kind of like the creator of chaos.
We dress the same.
A little.
Though,
I mean,
apparently
there are things. Clearly, we look alike. Clearly,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no debate on that.
No.
But you know, I think that I'm kind of like a chaos creator. If you will, because I'm the person that dreams and like sees things and is like, oh, this and this and this. It's usually way too ambitious. It's usually 10 things at once, like 10 ideas. But if I just stayed there in that role as my kind of crazy, and I didn't have other kinds of crazy come around me, those dreams would just continue to stay dreams.
Yeah.
They would just sit there. So I need your kind of crazy because you're coming along and you're like, well, okay, well, let's do it. How are you going to do it? Let's make a doc out of it. Let's write this project. Let's give it some feet and let it run.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of team we're building right now. And so we made a joke about having to dress the same and everything to be on the creative team, but really and truly we need different people. We need everybody. We need all of us working together to tell this amazing story. Yeah. And so I think that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. Again, we're not professionals. We didn't come on and try to make this show series, episodes, things, the things that it is, whatever we're calling this, I'm not really sure. But we didn't come on here because we're like, we have arrived. Yeah. We are professional. We know what we have everything all figured out. Let us teach you. Yeah. We're saying we're on a journey and we want you to come with us because we want to have the conversation out loud. We want to be able to, if we can help you in any way, if we can say, hey, this is what we did, or hey, how do you create something with a really small budget, or hey, how do you think outside the box when maybe this is the current culture or the way things are and you're trying to do something different? How do you move from here to here? That's what we're trying to do. And so that's why we wanted to do these episodes, is we wanted to inspire and encourage other creatives or other people out there, whether you're writing a song, whether you're trying to pick up your camera and learn how to take a good picture that tells a great story, whether you're wanting to learn how to do video, or whether you're an artist and you paint beautiful, amazing paintings, whatever it is, we want to try to help you tell the greatest story that we've ever seen and that's ever been told, and that's our job. So thank you for being my crazy friend. I want to try to be other people's crazy friends. I want to encourage you to be somebody's crazy friend. Who can you go and encourage? Who's over there dreaming and they're all alone? Yep. Who needs that push? Who needs that, hey, I see what you're doing. Like, let's do it together. Let's join arms and do this as a team. So I think that's what we're trying to do at City Life, and I think that God is really moving in that already, just even in our obedience, like going back to the whole beginning, even in just saying yes. Not yes with a plan, not always, not yes with I know exactly what this is going to be, not yes, I see what this is going to be 5 years from now, but just a yes. Sometimes you just have to start with yes. Like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? Right?
Boom.
Why not? Boom. There it is.
Boom.
Why not? All right. This is going to be really fun. Okay, there's going to be a segment with each guest on the show. Okay. That's just going to be rapid fire. We're calling it Fave 5. I did not give you these questions in advance.
No.
Because I wanted to be off the top of your head, because it's your favorite, so you should know what your favorite is.
Okay.
But this is just we want to get a little peek inside of each person that's here. We want to know some fun and unique things about them. Okay, Fave 5. Question number 1. What is your favorite food? You're wearing I Love Tacos pin.
Tacos.
Is that
Mexican
telling?
Food.
Mexican food?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Good job. Mexican food. You pass. Is tacos your favorite Mexican food?
Sure.
Sure. Great. Okay. Good. All right. Music. What is, right now, if I pulled up your Spotify, what's on it?
A lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the last thing I played?
Give me like a few.
Hillsong People album.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Swim Moonlight album.
We missed the concert.
It sure did.
And did you see that Toby Nwigwe
Toby
made an
Nwigwe
appearance?
is my next one. I've been listening to a lot of that.
He made an appearance. Johnny Swim. those two worlds came together.
Yeah, they did.
In Houston, and we missed it.
And we missed it.
Sad.
Is that it?
Sure. You listed like 3 or 4. That's good.
Okay.
What is your favorite animal?
Animal?
Yeah. Like if you were having to answer questions and you were somebody said, or like, what kind of animal would you be? That's a harder question, so maybe you should just say your favorite animal.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is.
Dog.
Dogs are good.
Yeah, love dogs.
Dogs always a good solid answer. You don't have one.
Not yet. Just had a kid. You know?
Is that something that you want to have in the future?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But right now, a dog sitter.
You have Lucy,
travel,
and that
life,
is that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. What's your favorite fun right now? Like if you had a night off and you could just go do something that was fun to you, what would it be right now today?
Go to a movie with Gabby.
Yeah. Because like as new parents, that's almost anything sounds fun as a new parent.
Yeah.
Like leaving my house sounds fun as a new parent.
Yeah, I love movies.
You're a movie guy?
I am a movie guy.
So is my husband. You know that about him.
Yeah, we
He's
vibe.
a movie guy.
We vibe.
Yeah. We vibe on the movies. That's
We
good.
do.
All right, last question.
Okay.
We are in the H.
Okay.
Houston. HTX, H-Town, whatever you want to call it, all the many names of Houston. What is one of your favorite things about Houston?
Diverse food. You can find almost anything. There's great Mexican, great Indian, great Thai, great
in the real,
barbecue,
like authentic.
Yeah, and it's super authentic.
It's not like pretend.
Yeah.
It's real.
Most diverse city in America.
It is.
It passed New York 3 years ago.
Way to go, Houston.
Yeah.
We love you.
HTX.
We love you, Houston.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to do before we're done, this is a surprise, you didn't know about this, but I was thinking, what can I do that's fun and for each person that comes on? And this is what I'm going to do. I decided because I love coffee. I'm like a huge coffee addict, just, straight up. I mean, that's just what it is. So this is one of my favorite mugs sitting out here, best day ever. It does not have coffee in it. Nobody really drinks coffee on a set. I'm just going to, I'm going to guess and say that because it's going to get cold. But
this is water? I've been drinking water all along?
Did I just reveal like a secret of like the magic of
Who's
film?
the director on this set?
Okay, well, anyway, if we were drinking coffee, what I decided I wanted to do for each of my friends that comes on is I'm going to give them a mug that I think fits them the best, okay? And this is kind of girly, so I'm sorry that it's like gold. I don't know.
Gold.
The lines are not super girly, but the reason I got you this mug is because this mug says Game Changer. That's what this mug says. It says Game Changer. Here, there it is. Game changer. Okay.
Jeez.
Because you are changing the game. You're changing the conversation in so many arenas. You're out there doing big things. And also, you're all up in city life, and you're committed to the vision, and you're helping change the game in our creative team. You're helping change the game in so many ways. Yeah. I prophesy / call you producer all the time because that's the kind of brain that you have. Trust me, that's the kind of brain he has. He's like always in the 6 months down the road and just in production mode all the time. You're a game changer, friend, and that mug is for you. It's not a set prop. You're going home with it today. So there you go. That's your mug. I'm not sure if this is sustainable for all of the guests. Like I can actually find something that fits them. I'll make it work. If I have to get a Sharpie and I have to create my own mug, I'm not afraid to do that.
Thank you.
I'm not afraid to do that.
Thank you.
So in closing, as we're closing this chaotic, crazy, fun conversation, do you have any last encouragement to creatives out there as they've listened to this, as bless them, they've endured. Yeah. They've endured this. This was a lot. So as a final thought in closing, what would you say to creatives?
I would say, I would talk to the people like me who would say, I'm not a creative. Like 6 months ago, I'd have been like, oh, that's not for me. So I would rather talk to the people who have ideas and imagination and the people who are dreaming up and scheming up of what could be. Yeah. I think it's worth chasing. I think the risk is worth running after. Mm-hmm. I think you never know what could happen with presenting something to a person in leadership like you.
You never know.
Because now we've built a partnership and it's working fairly well, I think, in my opinion, So I would just I would just want to encourage like people who want to create to like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And let's mess up along the way. And let's build relationship along the way. And let's learn along the way. And let's just figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Like, we just want to do fun things with our friends. That's kind of my...
Fun things with friends. It's an alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of alliteration on this show.
Hashtag
also, all the C's, because my name is Kacee, so it can be crazy, it can be chaotic, it can be creative, it can be collaborative, it can be KP, it can be all those things. But yes, create. I agree. And I would say, in closing, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Get out there, create something, get your hands dirty, get your feet dirty, find a crazy friend, and create something and just go for it.
Boom.
Why not? Thank you for being with us. And yeah, why not?
Amen.